Hello, good morning. My name is Raffaella Calabrese. I'm Professor of Statistics and Data Science at the University of Edinburgh Business School. And today I'm going to speak about a framework to assess the compliance of AI techniques for credit risk modeling to the AI Act, the Artificial Intelligence Act. The Artificial Intelligence Act addresses the risks of using artificial intelligence in Europe. It considers four different levels of risk in using AI techniques. And it classifies the use of AI for credit risk modeling at high risk. High risk system, they need to perform very restricted checks and risk assessment when they use AI techniques. So this means that, for example, the banking sector needs to perform this kind of assessment if they use AI techniques for credit risk. There isn't a general framework in order to assess if these AI techniques are compliant with the AI Act for credit risk modeling. For this reason, I'm working with researchers based in the UK, in Germany, and also in Canada, in order to create an accurate framework that allows to train, validate, and test AI techniques for credit risk that can be implemented by financial institutions in order to check if this use is compliant with the AI Act. In order to do this, we consider three main areas. So the first one is known as explainability. So we know that AI techniques are usually black box. So this means that they are very difficult to explain. But financial institutions, they need to be able to explain to customers the results or their models. For example, if they reject a loan application to a customer, they need to be able to explain why this application has been rejected. And it's obvious that if they use AI techniques, this could be problematic. Another important aspect is fairness. So we need to be sure that these AI techniques, they're not discriminating against a particular kind of groups, like for example, socio-demographic groups. If we consider open banking, for example, AI techniques would allow to identify the kind of customer that, for example, we can identify the gender, or we could identify the age class, or even the ethnic minority, if it belongs to an ethnic minority. So in order to avoid that the use of AI techniques, they can discriminate some particular kind of groups, we need to check if this happens when they're used for credit risk modeling. Another important aspect is also robustness. So if we change the characteristic of the data where we train the model, we need to be sure that the results of the model are not changed dramatically. So this is known as also as robustness. So this is important because it's obvious that we are going to have a change of the macroeconomic condition. And what we want to avoid is the so-called overfitting of AI techniques. So we don't want that the method represent the data, and if it's the data at such high level that even if we change slightly the characteristic of the data, the results of the data are changing completely, and then they can be used in a different scenario. So what we think is that based on these three main criteria, so fairness, explainability, and robustness, the main problem for credit risk is that samples can be unbalanced. So if we consider, for example, credit scoring is a particular kind of credit risk. So it's the model that financial institutions use to decide if they can grant a loan or not. And they train this model on the characteristics of previous customers. So they consider previous customers that they repay the loans or not. It's obvious that the percentage of customers that they didn't repay the loans in the past is usually quite low, let's say lower than 5%. So this means that the sample for credit scoring is usually unbalanced. So we have a lower percentage of one category, the defaulted loans. This means that if we use AI techniques for unbalanced data, the measure that we considered before and the measure that are usually applied for explainability, for fairness and for robustness, they are not accurate and are not suitable for unbalanced data. So the main goal of this project is to propose new measures that are going to be accurate also in the context of credit scoring for unbalanced data.